Jay-Z and Diddy were once inseparable, but today their bond is broken, and it all started with a series of shocking moves that changed everything. How did their empire-building friendship go from powerhouses to legal nightmares? Watch to find out the explosive details. Jay-Z and Diddy's early days in the hip-hop game were about mutual respect and shared goals. Both came from rough backgrounds, so their friendship was built on the foundation of loyalty and ambition. In the late 90s, they would often be seen together at events, each contributing to the other's rise. As Jay-Z solidified himself as a rapper and Diddy as a mogul, they were seen as two of the most influential men in hip-hop. But like many relationships in the entertainment industry, things weren't always as they seemed. While Jay-Z was rising in the rap scene, Diddy had already established himself as one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. Bad Boy Records was more than just a label, it was a force. With artists like Biggie Smalls, Diddy created an empire. But was Diddy's influence too much? As he expanded his business ventures and signed more artists, Jay-Z watched from the sidelines. Could Diddy's growing empire overshadow Jay-Z's rising influence? Jay-Z wasn't just a rapper, he was a visionary. Unlike Diddy, whose focus remained on music and fashion, Jay-Z expanded into various business ventures. He invested in real estate, tech companies, and even sports. His biggest move was purchasing a stake in the Brooklyn Nets in 2013. Jay-Z wasn't just about making money, he was about ownership. Could this vision create tension between him and Diddy, who was also hungry for success and empire building? Jay-Z's move to launch Tidal in 2015 caught everyone by surprise. He wasn't just launching another music streaming platform, he was looking to change the game. With the help of other big-name artists, Jay-Z aimed to offer better pay and control for musicians. But how did Diddy react? With the success of his own ventures, was this Jay-Z's challenge to Diddy's position as the hip-hop mogul? As Jay-Z's Tidal began to make waves in the music industry, the cracks in his relationship with Diddy began to show. Diddy, who had long been the go-to mogul in hip-hop, began to feel the competition. Tidal's success threatened to overshadow his own projects, especially as the platform gained traction with top-tier artists. While Diddy didn't publicly comment on it, the shift in their relationship was apparent to those close to them. Diddy wasn't going to let Jay-Z dominate the streaming space without a fight. Shortly after Tidal launched, Diddy ramped up his efforts with his own ventures, including Revolt TV and partnerships with other artists. His reaction seemed to be a direct response to Jay-Z's growing influence. Was this the beginning of the end for their long-standing friendship? Jay-Z wasn't shy about his ambitions, and he made sure everyone knew that he was here to stay. After Tidal's launch, Jay-Z also entered the world of fashion and branding. He partnered with brands like Puma, and his clothing line, Wear, continued to succeed. But his moves weren't just about making money. It was a statement that he could compete on every level with Diddy, and that put him in direct competition with his former friend. While Jay-Z was focusing on expanding his empire, Diddy found himself dealing with legal troubles. Rumors of lawsuits and business disputes began circulating. Diddy's legal battles, including issues with the security company he hired, were starting to spill into the media. Was Diddy distracted by his own legal woes, or was this part of a larger power struggle between him and Jay-Z? By now, whispers of a feud between Jay-Z and Diddy were growing louder. It wasn't just business anymore. There was personal tension. The once strong friendship had deteriorated, with Jay-Z's moves in the music industry and Diddy's retaliation creating a rift. Could they reconcile? Or was this the point of no return? The tension between them was reaching its peak, and no one knew what would happen next. Jay-Z wasn't just content with dominating the rap game. He expanded into every corner of the business world. His stakes in various industries made him a mogul in his own right. Beyond music, Jay-Z focused on fashion, sports, and tech. He partnered with brands like Puma, launched his liquor brand, and even owned a stake in the Brooklyn Nets. His rise as an entrepreneur made him a competitor to other moguls, including Diddy. Could Jay-Z's calculated business ventures pose a real threat to Diddy's empire? Or was he just carving his own path? While Jay-Z was solidifying his position in various industries, Diddy faced financial challenges that raised eyebrows. The mogul found himself dealing with the fallout from the 2012 acquisition of Ciroc and other ventures. Despite being a powerhouse in music and entertainment, Diddy's financial situation wasn't as secure as it appeared. Some speculated that he was trying to maintain his lavish lifestyle while juggling multiple business interests. Was this a sign of cracks in Diddy's empire? How would Jay-Z, who was flourishing, react to his old friend's financial troubles. The tension between Jay-Z and Diddy began to grow as both men expanded their empires. Diddy's focus on entertainment and music continued to clash with Jay-Z's expansion into different industries. The two moguls seemed to be pulling in different directions, with one increasingly involved in fashion and sports, while the other remained entrenched in music and media. As their business interests continued to clash, so did their relationship. The friendly competition started to feel more like a full-blown rivalry. As Diddy's business empire expanded, so did his legal issues. In 2019, he faced a lawsuit over the wrongful termination of his security guard. This only added to the pressures Diddy was already facing. Meanwhile, Jay-Z, while not in the public eye as much, continued to build his influence quietly. He made key business moves that would expand his reach even further. With Diddy's legal issues mounting, Jay-Z seemed to stay focused on his own path. But would his silence speak volumes? Jay-Z made a historic move in 2013 by becoming a part owner of the Brooklyn Nets, making him one of the first African-American owners in major professional sports. This move was a major statement not only in the sports industry, but also in the world of entertainment and business. Jay-Z's partnership with the Nets allowed him to gain influence over an entirely new realm, leading many to wonder whether this would widen the gap between him and Diddy, who didn't seem to have a presence in the sports world. Despite the tension building between them, neither Jay-Z nor Diddy openly addressed their rivalry. Both moguls knew the power they held, and their silence spoke louder than any public statement could. The media continued to stir the pot, but neither man was willing to address it head-on. Meanwhile, Jay-Z continued to solidify his position in various industries, while Diddy doubled down on his music and media efforts. With both at the top of their game, the competition only intensified, and fans were left wondering if the friendship was beyond repair. While Jay-Z had his hands in various industries, Diddy focused on media through Revolt TV, a network that he launched to give artists a platform to tell their stories. The channel, which would go on to feature top hip-hop personalities, became a powerful tool in his media empire. It seemed like Diddy was trying to corner the market that Jay-Z was working hard to build. Was Revolt TV a direct challenge to Jay-Z's expanding influence, especially as he focused more on Tidal and other business ventures? Jay-Z's move into the live music sector was nothing short of groundbreaking. He signed a deal with Live Nation, giving him full access to a range of concert venues and performances. The $150 million deal allowed Jay-Z to control his music in ways that Diddy had not yet managed. This expansion into live entertainment set Jay-Z further apart from Diddy and proved that he was on a different level of moguldom. Did Diddy see this move as another way Jay-Z was surpassing him? The once strong friendship between Jay-Z and Diddy had now completely deteriorated. Their business moves no longer aligned, and the trust that once existed between them was broken. Neither party spoke about it directly, but fans and insiders began to speculate that the growing tension was rooted in their ongoing competition. Both men had something to prove, but it seemed that this rivalry would eventually outgrow the music industry itself. Was it the end of an era for two of hip-hop's most powerful figures? The rivalry between Jay-Z and Diddy reached a boiling point, but it wasn't a war fought with words or public slander. Instead, it was a silent war played out through business moves, public statements, and strategic partnerships. Both moguls were actively positioning themselves for long-term dominance, but without acknowledging each other directly. Their moves became the battleground, and the world was watching to see who would come out on top. This was no longer just about hip-hop. It was about legacy, power, and influence. Despite their growing rivalry, Jay-Z and Diddy never openly addressed the feud. The media, however, had a field day, speculating on the nature of their relationship. Fans and reporters alike wanted to know if they'd ever settle their differences. Would they have a face-to-face conversation, or was this rivalry too deep to mend? Both men kept their distance, fueling the speculation. But was this all just part of the game? Diddy has always been known for luxury, yachts, champagne, and over-the-top parties. But as public interest in wealth shifted towards substance and transparency, his flashy persona began attracting criticism. Some started to question whether Diddy's wealth was sustainable or simply a curated image. The extravagant lifestyle also brought legal eyes to his assets, as lawsuits loomed in the background. In contrast to Jay-Z's quiet billionaire moves, Diddy's image was louder, riskier, and potentially damaging. Was the flashy persona a mask for a crumbling empire? While Diddy attracted attention through spectacle, Jay-Z started rebranding himself as a reserved cultural strategist. He aligned with major causes like criminal justice reform and economic empowerment in the Black community. From working with Meek Mill to founding Reform Alliance, Jay-Z's moves made headlines not for drama, but impact. His pivot from flashy rapper to cultural mogul gave him credibility beyond entertainment. It wasn't just about the money, it was about legacy. Every silent step he took seemed calculated to widen the gap between him and rivals like Diddy. Despite the controversies, Diddy's mark on modern music remains undeniable. From Biggie to French Montana, his fingerprints are all over hip-hop's evolution. He's more than a mogul, he's a tastemaker. Recently, with his Love Records imprint, Diddy tried to return to his R&B roots, hoping to reinvent his sound and legacy. But can nostalgia save a brand? While Jay-Z pivoted to billion-dollar boardrooms, Diddy's plan was to win hearts and streams. This chapter of his career feels like a personal redemption arc. Jay-Z's financial elevation was no accident. He became hip-hop's first billionaire by diversifying with precision. Armand de Brignac Champagne, Tidal, Roc Nation, and art investments. While Diddy leaned on nostalgia and music royalty, Jay-Z built a legacy brick by brick. Forbes spotlighted his wealth not as a fluke, but a masterclass in strategic growth. It wasn't about hits anymore. It was about ownership. As he kept collecting equity, he distanced himself from peers who only collected headlines. While Jay-Z climbed the wealth ladder, Diddy found himself on the defensive. Allegations, former artists speaking out, and bad press hit his image hard. Artists like Mace and others accused Diddy of unfair contracts and exploiting talent. The backlash threatened the very foundation Diddy's legacy stood on: his label, his influence, and his credibility. Once praised as a music genius, he was now fighting to keep that title. Could this bad press mark the beginning of the end for Diddy's dominance? Jay-Z's deal with the NFL in 2019 shocked fans. Aligning with a league that had recently blackballed Colin Kaepernick felt like betrayal to many. Some labeled Jay-Z a sellout, questioning whether he was cashing in on a movement rather than supporting it. But Jay-Z defended his actions, saying it was time to move past kneeling and start creating change from within. His Super Bowl partnerships and activism initiatives followed, but the backlash still lingers. Was this a misstep or a calculated power move? As allegations and lawsuits pile up, Diddy's silence becomes louder than words. Once the most vocal mogul in the game, he now avoids the media spotlight. Many fans and critics alike are left wondering, is he strategizing a comeback or hiding from accountability? The absence from interviews, press events, and his usually active social media presence adds fuel to the fire. While some believe he's preparing to fight back legally, others think he's fading under pressure. In a world that demands transparency, Diddy's quiet approach is making headlines in itself. Beyond business, Jay-Z's commitment to family life helped redefine his image. His marriage to Beyoncé and fatherhood brought emotional depth to a once guarded artist. His music evolved, reflecting on legacy, fatherhood, and mistakes. Albums like 444 showed vulnerability and growth, earning praise even from critics who once doubted him. While Diddy's legacy is rooted in high energy and showmanship, Jay-Z's is maturing into wisdom, family values, and generational wealth. This shift only deepened the divide between the two moguls. In what might be his last major public moment before disappearing from the spotlight, Diddy appeared unusually somber at a charity gala. No entourage, no flashy outfit, just quiet nods and minimal press interaction. Fans noticed the change. Online comments buzzed about how, "This isn't the Diddy we know." Was it regret, strategy, or a sign of the end? While some claim he's preparing a comeback documentary, others believe he's stepping away for good. The once unstoppable bad boy may finally be slowing down. Both men shaped hip-hop's evolution, but their paths have clearly split. Jay-Z climbed through corporate doors, controlling boardrooms and mastering silence's power. Diddy rose on charisma, showmanship, and culture-shaking energy, but now faces serious questions. As fans compare their journeys, the contrast is stark. One became a quiet king, the other a fallen emperor. Yet both redefined what it means to be a mogul. Will Diddy bounce back? Can Jay-Z remain untouchable? Time will tell. But one thing's certain, hip-hop will never forget either name.